Joining me now, the writing and producing couple behind Jingle Jangle, David E. Talbert and Lynn Sisson Talbert. You guys, I'm so happy you're here. My mother is completely obsessed with this movie. She's been asking me every day, did you watch it yet? Did you watch it yet? Finally, I watched it, and now I'm a fan too. I'm completely obsessed. I love it. Lynn, I want to start with a question to you. One of my favorite parts is this look of the set, this Victorian look with these African subnotes all throughout the movie were amazing. I know you produced all your husband's projects. Tell me what went into the inspiration behind what it looks like.
Oh my gosh, so we coined the phrase Afro-Victorian, and what we did was we wanted to show this amazing magical world, but layering in our heritage, because since it's set in the 1800s, you're only one or two generations from where you would have came from. So I wanted to infuse those fabrics from Ghana and Nigeria, and had an amazing costume designer, Michael Wilkinson. We wanted it to be bright and beautiful, but also have this grounded palette as well. So it felt very classic and familiar at the same time.
Well, you achieved that goal because I was like, what city is this? And I want to live there. So I definitely loved it. David, let me ask you, the best part of this story, I think, is that you talked about the Netflix executive who said, yeah, don't think about budget, just create. And they really got out of your way. And I think films like this is what happens when people get out of the way and just let people of color create. And that's what you did here. So tell me what that was like to just have free reign to do what you wanted to do.
Well, it was learning to walk and talk again creatively. I mean, you used to always with our stories, we're asked to make a lot out of a little, you know, and it's usually you have $2 to make this happen, and go for it, have at it, good luck with that. But it was important for Netflix executives Scott Spielberg and Nick Nesbitt understood that you know there is a whole big audience out there, international audience of people of color that want representation. When we sit down and we watch shows over the holidays after we have good food and good family, we want to see a good movie, but we want to see ourselves on the screen. And so they spared no cost and gave me all the resources I need.
I think the diversity of the cast is one of the most beautiful things. The cast looked like America. I mean, everybody was represented, and they looked beautiful on screen. It was so great. One thing that I found really interesting is it took you 20 years to bring this story to life, and I think I often say this is why first rappers, their first album is so dope, because it took them 20 years. They have 20 years of material to produce. This is how you came out with a banger like Jingle Jangle. Why did it take you 2 decades to come up with this?
Yeah, it's my Illmatic, you know. But you know, things take time to marinate.
I don't know. You need to take a look at this.
You throw all these
I can tell
ingredients in there, but it
you
doesn't taste good the first day. But after it sits there for a while and the flavor is locked in,
This gotta be yours.
and that's what you know. For me, life needed to season me. Love, I needed to become a father. All these things.
What you going to eat out of the tray, or how you going to do that?
Lynn, David said he needed to be seasoned like a cast iron skillet. You season them, girl, with your love. And he gave us this beautiful piece of art.
Are you drinking this?
That was the one done.
So Lynn, let me ask you, because the casting was so amazing. Madam Queen Felicia Rashad is everything. Everybody loves her. And who knew Forrest Whitaker could cut a run so well? He was such a great dancer. So Lynn, let me ask you, what was the thinking behind the casting? What went into that?
Let me see.
We really wanted to not only have our legends that we know and those familiar faces and that make our hearts feel all warm, but we also wanted to break new talent with, you know, Madeline Mills, who plays Journey, Kieran Dyer, who plays Edison, Lisa Davina Phillip, who plays Miss Johnson. And it was just a way to, you know, Forrest Whitaker, he's the one that started the whole party. By him coming to the table and wanting to do this with us, it just opened it up for everyone else who loves him and wants to work with him. Felicia Rashad was the first person on the wall that I said, this is the grandmother, no matter what you say. Anika Noni Rose, Hugh Bonneville, Keegan Michael Key, Ricky Martin as the voice of Don Juan Diego. And it's just been phenomenal to feature them in this way and showcase all the talents that they have. You know, a lot of people didn't know that Forrest is opera trained. You know, and he's a singer. They think, oh, he just came out and started singing, but he is. And Felicia Rashad, coming from, you know, we know her. She's all of our mothers. You know?
Right.
And then when it was time to dance, then it was time to dance. Forrest didn't need choreography. That's a black man at a black barbecue, a family reunion dance. Where they say, somebody get your own. And he just did.
Let me ask you, because right now a lot of couples are spending a lot of time together because everybody's stuck in the house. And so I'm curious, that you guys are clearly spending a lot of time together. Is there ever a disagreement, creative disagreement, in how you approach a project? And if so, how do you handle it?
Always, but during the pandemic, love is overrated. Like is what you need. You to survive, you got to like each other. You know what I'm saying? And this woman just makes everything better in my life and in her home. So, you know, I got a good pillow to sleep on the couch when I get out of the time. And we get through it, and we keep it moving. I eventually get back up in the bedroom.
You know, but at the end of the day, we're both fighting for the same things, and that's what brings us back to our center. We want the same things. We want the best for each other, and yeah, we cuss and fuss many times, and especially creatively, because we're fighting for the project to be better. So
I love it. So, and I know you guys have a book accompaniment to this that we're showing now, the Square Root of Possible, which looks great. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I just want to say, David and Lynn, I know this is on Netflix, but you know we have Peacock streaming right here at this network. So come bring some of that dopeness over this way. Well, let me just say, I'm sure there's an executive in my inbox right now, like, Tiffany, you don't greenlight deals, but I'm just putting it out there. So thank you so much, you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is such a holiday classic, and I know my mother is thrilled right now watching you guys talk about it. So thank you guys for joining us, David Talbert and Lynn Sesson Talbert. More Cross Connection coming up after the break.
At Dell Technologies, we started by making the cloud easier to manage.